Why are you even here? Do you want to meet the good guys? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your first good gal, Jamie Gray Hyder. Come on. Next up, Jeffrey Norwood. Jeffrey, come in. Jeffrey, look at the blue ensemble he's wearing. Amazing. And finally, David Carewood. Now I want to play this a bit like the dating game. I want to go right down the line. Everybody gives me a brief synopsis, so then I decide who I marry. Mr. Bloom.
Yes, sir.
Please get on that microphone. You don't.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Definitely intense. Okay. You are the captain. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Tell me about Captain Reyes.
Captain Reyes is a warrior. He's incredibly loyal. He's incredibly dedicated. This is a skin you're going to want to jump in. This is a guy who believes wholeheartedly in his cause and is fighting literally to save the world. He is a special combat air and recon lieutenant who is, after his ship is attacked, he is made the captain of the Retribution, again, in the absence of anybody else of higher rank.
All right, Bachelor One, that's enough. You can't monopolize the whole thing here, all right? Lean back, take a breath, calm down. Jamie, who do you play?
I play Lieutenant Salter in the game, and I am Captain Reyes' partner, and by proxy, all of your partners when you play. And so I kind of, oh my God, I just noticed the snack bar.
Yeah, Jamie, it's for you. You're not, yeah, that's yours.
That has my name on it. So Lieutenant Salter and Lieutenant Reyes kind of came up in the ranks together. So they've always been equals, they've always been partners. And in the fiction of the game, when Lieutenant Reyes is then promoted to captain, it kind of changes their dynamic because she's technically now his subordinate. And as the ball buster that she is, that's not really something that she's super comfortable with. So you kind of watch them struggle with that throughout the game.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's how you do it, see? Bloom, you just don't talk the whole time.
Beginning, middle,
Just a little
end.
bit. There you go.
You've never written a story before, clearly.
Clearly. Jeffrey, tell me about your character.
I play...
One person's a big Jeffrey fan, by the way. That one.
Yeah. You came. I play Ethan. He is an artificial human.
That looks like just a robot.
Well, you could call it that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's kind of robotist. But, yeah, assigned to Lieutenant Reyes to work with him at the beginning, and then there's some bumps along the road to getting accepted by certain people. And, yeah.
And then, David, do you not like robots?
No.
Who do you play in this game?
I play a character called Sergeant Omar, who is an old-fashioned, good soldier. He's the kind of guy that you would want fighting on your team. He's the first in the battle, the last out of the battle. He's incredibly loyal. Doesn't really. I mean, I know people talk about Call of Duty being played in space. Omar will fight anywhere. He will fight in the trenches. He will fight in the field. He will fight anywhere. He's a real good old-fashioned bring it on soldier, and he's a lot of fun to play.
Hold on, everyone's having a private conversation up here in front of thousands of people.
I'm asking Jamie if she would pass me something from the snack bar.
You are not allowed to eat on this panel. What is the snack bar's relevance? I don't understand.
No. Brian, you want to talk about it? Or Jamie's going to talk about it? She's going to out herself?
You tell it.
I brought you something too, if you need it, just, I brought it for you, I know.
I like to eat. So during filming, we'd be in the middle, we'd be in between scenes and everything, so I'd always be snacking. So on set, they built a little snack bar into the hub of the Retribution. So I would be doing my lines, and all this stuff, and I'd reach over and grab a piece of beef jerky or something, and they have left me with my snack bar here. And what's actually great is it's kind of a little thing in the game. They've actually put a snack bar in my Jackal in the game. So if you get a chance to go into my aircraft, there's a little snack bar.
Yeah, the animators on the art team saw that she was eating from the snack bar so often that they just put it in the game, so she's eating it.
So Taylor, tell me about their experience. So many video games, right, are going to a VO booth, talking to a microphone, the game comes out in a year and a half. Yeah. But they were together acting it all out?
Yeah, I mean, we've been acting with this group and a larger group. This is just a small representation of the cast for over a year.
Yeah.
been working with David and Jeff and what's your name again? Jamie?
Marissa.
Right. And Brian, for over a year now, what we do is more akin to working on a season of, a television show.
Sure.
Rather than on a video game. We don't do anything in a VO booth at all. We do everything on our stage with mocap suits on, with wireless microphones.
There's balls all over these people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're moving. We have weapons. We've been trained by Navy SEALs. We had weapons training from Navy SEALs, and then they're on the set critiquing how we move all the time and saying, if you're not doing it right, they'll make you do it again. And I think it really gives us a really realistic portrayal of being, soldiers in the military. I mean, Jeff can speak to kind of how important it is to have everybody on stage together, acting and responding off of each other than they are in isolation, like as if you were making a Saturday morning cartoon.
Sure.
Yeah, but when we have everybody all together on the set, we are able to get audio from them. We're able to get facial data from them with those cameras you see on all of them, and we're also able to get their body. We get all those things all at the same time, so we feel like that gives them a more authentic performance, and they can play off of each other in a realistic way. When we get into the editing room and we decide which takes we're going to use, which pieces we're going to remove, and all those sorts of things, we're really not removing too much of the real, the life that's in the scene, the stuff that really makes it feel like you're actually there, and that coupled with visuals that really sell a realistic thing, we feel like that's really going to help you feel like you're actually there. And as part of the motion capture thing, we're able to get different angles with virtual camera and be able to see, like within the actual volume, in the actual set, be able to see the virtual set. So having all of them on the stage at the same time helps us set up angles, be able to see, where they are exactly in, touch points in the set, be able to see what we're looking at. It just helps us be able to try and make a movie out of these things whenever we can, because we want you guys to feel like you're playing a movie.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff is there. I don't know if you can see in some of that B-roll, but Jeff is there with a virtual camera, so he can see the virtual set as we're in the scene. And he's framing up shots. I mean, a ton of what we do, obviously, the vast majority of what we do is on-the-stick gameplay. I mean, that's, first and foremost, we are making an immersive experience where you are occupying the boots of Captain Reyes.
Sure.
But we also have to frame things up from a cinematic perspective. I mean, what we're trying to really do is we're really trying to entice the player to be the cinematographer of their own movie. We want them to feel like they're there on station with their squad mates, battling alongside them, but ultimately they are a partner with us in presenting this incredible spectacle.
Of course. So you know what it's going to look like. You literally are walking around the virtual camera. I mean, David, how long does it take not to feel like you're in a skin-tight suit walking around an empty room?
I have to say, it's a great experience. I mean, having done a few video games, but obviously I've been acting for a long time, but the actual experience of working on a video game, it's a whole different type of acting experience, because there's no perspective, there's no camera, there's no close-up, there's no perspective of the camera, so you have to act almost 360. And not only that, but you're also interacting with each other. It's a completely different experience. You forget that you're not in front of the camera very, very quickly, and the whole experience becomes incredibly immersive. Particularly if you, like me, are a gamer. I've been gaming for like 30 years. So you kind of know what you're almost envisaging what the whole thing's going to look like, what it's going to sound like. It's just a completely great way of working.
So then, Brian, I swear to God, if you keep leaning away from that microphone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. You're so used to acting at 360 with the microphone right in front of you. Anyways, you guys come in there, you're talking about acting off each other and going with the flow and figuring out how scenes work. Is that maddening for you from what you wrote? I mean, do you guys sit there and then start ad-libbing and shit?
Nothing about that aspect of this experience was at all maddening. This is an incredible cast, and we had a chance over these 2.5 years to build chemistry. When people work on something, they talk about it becoming a family. And I hope these guys will attest. I think in many ways we did. And that's really what a military unit is. Those guys are a family. They have each other's backs. They have each other's lives in the balance. And we're sort of no exception in terms of supporting each other, and to watch these guys take what we did, to take our story, to take our dialogue, to just higher ground, greater than the sum of its parts, was nothing maddening at all. It was a treat. It was really something. And I think the chemistry we're talking about here should translate into the game. You know, the game is a digital experience, so these are the carbon-based life forms that go into that. And so we work hard hoping that that translates and comes through, and you feel that. And this is your team. This is who you're saving the world with.
Yeah, and it was a really awesome experience to get to see all of these people, with Taylor directing them, and all of them kind of finding what the scene was, to be able to have it grow organically and come off the page and be something different than what it was on the page. You know, and as they interpret it and act it out, and we shape it into something else, it becomes something totally different and something even better. And it was just a really cool experience to get to watch these guys do that.
Do you guys want to see what it became? We have a cutscene for you. That's all of their work becoming something bigger.
Should we set this up?
Sure, what's happening in this
Yeah,
one?
let's set this up a little bit. This is fairly early on in the events of Infinite Warfare. Earth has been savagely attacked by the Settlement Defense Front, led by Captain Koch, Admiral Koch, excuse me, I just promoted him. And it's a pretty horrific scene. The fleet of Earth has all been gathered in Geneva, which is the headquarters of the UNSA. It's an organization not unlike the United Nations we know today. And the fleet is all gathered there as a celebration. It's like a Fleet Week celebration. And so what ends up happening, SetDef, they launch this attack, a surprise attack. They use some of our weaponry against us and against our fleet. And the end result of this initial battle is we are left with only 2 of our warships.
Oh, well.
And Reyes, Brian, who is a lieutenant, along with Lieutenant Salter, have just returned to the Retribution to assess what has happened. I mean, they know that the fleet has basically been destroyed, and they come onto the bridge expecting to confer with Captain Alder, the captain of the Retribution, about what happened, or what's transpired, and instead of having a face-to-face with Captain Alder, they have what you're about to see.
Okay.